Another AEW talent is leaving soon, plus future Raw and SmackDown brand split plans have been revealed. And could a classic WWE Championship be returning soon? It's all in the wrestling news right now. We're seeing a lot of the first batch of AEW stars and seeing their contracts coming to an end. And we're seeing quite a few of them heading elsewhere. We've seen Joey Janela, Marco Stunt, and a few others go. Another one today. Who are we talking about, Fraser?
Jack Evans seems to be on his way out of the company, confirming on Twitter himself. It seems a lot of these stars in AEW have been quite open about them actually leaving, but he's said, my time with AEW has been a fun and enjoyable, but it's come to an end as I will not be re-signed when my contract ends in April. I'd like to thank everyone at AEW and the AEW fans for the opportunity. He then replied to a fan on Twitter, "Nah, it's part of the business. Not to diss myself, but I wasn't giving any added value to the company, truthfully. And with a big roster, you do gotta make cuts."
He's very honest about the situation.
Very honest. I mean, it is a shame. He's a great talent, but he doesn't really stand out with a big bloated roster like AEW's.
No.
And he did at the start with his all high spots and stuff, but there's other people doing the same sort of thing. So it is a shame he's off. He's a great guy, but I wonder if we'll see him back in the future at any point. It seems like a mutual sort of parting.
It seems that way. Where do you see him landing?
I mean, I could see doing some Impact stuff potentially. I remember back in day, he was on. I think it was Destination X. He did some crazy 630 cent on. It was the first time I'd ever seen that. I was amazed by Jack Evans.
I'm pretty sure he was part of the lineup of Wrestling Society X as well.
I think you're right.
He looked great on there.
Yeah.
Hopefully, best wishes for him. I think I definitely see him hitting the Indies. I could see him doing GCW stuff. Impact, maybe.
He did a lot of stuff in Mexico as well, so I could see him going and do some AAA.
Maybe. Nick Wayne is a guy that AEW got some eyes on for signing. One of the youngest talents to be offered an AEW deal. I had a chat with Andrew Thompson on his channel about what his next step is. He says, just for now, until I'm 18 years old, we've got about a year and a half left until he graduates high school. He says, I'm just working the hardest I can. So the day I turn 18, I'm ready to go. My talent in the ring is crisp. Just working to be the best version of myself. I do have to graduate high school, though. I think that was a deal with his AEW contract that he had to finish high school before.
Now, Nick is Nick Wayne's the guy that Darby Allin came out and presented the contract to.
That's the guy.
It's very nice to see them actually honouring that and being like, look, go and finish high school. You're a young guy. It's nice to have your high school graduation to fall back on, because if wrestling doesn't work out, you need something else. But he seems like a really talented guy.
He seems really good, so we'll keep an eye on him. Brand split news from Raw and SmackDown. Now, I got a lot of bother to the day.
What have you done, Tom?
I said that the brand split should end.
Oh.
And that's what the internet did.
They did sit, yeah.
That's what the internet did. I didn't know you cared that much. To that I say,
it's the internet, Tom.
I mean, there is that. But because with them unifying titles, I know you talked about that at a podcast t'other day with the lads. There was questions about whether or not Raw and SmackDown would be merged together. Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer says, as these rumors are circulating, he says that WWE doesn't plan on merging Raw and SmackDown at all, but that doesn't mean they won't unify the titles and have floating champions once again for the main men's title and the main tag title.
I think that's the way to do it, honestly. I mean, you made the argument for the brand split ending, right? And I was completely the opposite side of that. I think I'm glad to hear this news that we're not going to have a merged roster, but at the same time, they've got quite a small roster.
Yeah, this is it. And I think I think the issue that I had with not merging the rosters was the fact that they were small rosters.
Yeah.
Like the women's division on SmackDown and the women's division on Raw are both comparatively quite small. Yeah. So maybe there's an argument to say put them all together. But you know what? Having floating champions for like both the men's and the women's tag team divisions, as we do now, maybe building to a point where we have a unified women's champion and having them go across both
Yeah.
brands. I think that's an easy way to fix that problem.
It does make them more prestigious.
Yeah, that's it. And this is the point that I made, darn it. That, if Bianca Belair as Raw Women's Champion is great, but as WWE Women's Champion across both brands, that really raises her stuff.
Really cool.
It'd be amazing. More on belts in about 180 seconds time. We're going to send our best wishes today to Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. On the Snake Pit podcast, Jake Roberts gave a health update on Ricky Steamboat. This is whilst he was talking about the infamous concrete DDT that he gave Jake Roberts back in the day. And it's a spot that still looks great now.
Yeah.
It still holds up now. And whilst talking about this, he said, I know Steamboat is having some health issues right now. I hope to hell it wasn't what I did. That haunts me. It's beginning to haunt me a lot. Ricky, if you're listening, you know I never meant to do that. I didn't want to do that. I begged you not to do that. I just pray for you. He's a good dude. Sending best wishes to Ricky Steamboat. Do you remember when he came back?
Oh, I loved that. Back in 2009, getting a wee run against Jericho. I think I was really surprised at Backlash 2009 because I was, 10, 11? And then out comes Ricky Steamboat. I'm like, who's this guy? He wrestled at WrestleMania 3. He can't go. And he surprised everyone. Him and Jericho put on an incredible match that night. And his match at WrestleMania 25 was brilliant as well.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
He's phenomenal. We send our best. And it was a shame because it felt as if after Backlash, we were going to see a bit of a renaissance for Ricky Steamboat. And then following an angle with the Nexus, he got injured.
He did a ton of house shows. I was really surprised. He came back for a proper run of house shows and stuff. And that's unheard of for someone who's been out of the business for that long. It's crazy. But yes, best wishes to him.
Sending best wishes to a classic from WWE and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Let's end on news of a classic WWE Championship that could be returning soon. What have we got, Fraser?
Cody Rhodes has said that he wants to bring back the Winged Eagle.
Oh, there you go.
So he tweeted, meeting earlier today, I was asked, what is the big picture? To which I replied, Winged Eagle. I mean, everyone wants to see the return of classic belts. Everyone's got their favorite classic belt. For me, it's the big gold. But then second to that, it probably is the Winged Eagle. And it'd be wild to see this one return. Obviously, loads of people have asked for Cody to bring back a classic belt when he returned. Is he gonna? If he wins the big one, is he gonna bring back an old design? Maybe he'll get his way.
Well, the whole thing was that he kind of like the idea of him putting, the promo that he cut when he got back was he dreamed of winning the WWF title and putting it in his dad's hands. And there is something really sweet about him winning the belt and then taking it old school like that. Like he did with the Intercontinental title.
He did, and that's my favorite IC title design as well.
I think if you ever want to, because I think as wrestling fans, I think we're quite excited about belts. And that's a weird thing to say. Do love a belt. Do love a championship belt design. And I feel like if you really want to get people behind you in a title push, you tell them you're going to bring back an old belt.
Oh, yeah.
And
people will love that. That instantly makes him a face no matter what he does.
I wanted Roman Reigns to hold the WWE title for another year and a bit. Mm-hmm. Then Cody went, I'll bring back the Winged Eagle back if I win. I'm like,
Okay, well,
it's a bit like a councillor saying, I will drop council tax. If I vote for me, and I will drop council tax.
Sold. Absolutely sold.
I wish to subscribe to your newsletter. Bring back the old belt. That'd be amazing.
Just bring back all the old designs. There's so many good ones. And they all look the same. I mean, I like the current design, but he put a photo on his Instagram, and it's just iconic, isn't it? It's either that or it's a new tattoo.
What if he gets that tattooed on him?
Just on his chest, just right this here.
So he's always the champ.
Yeah, take the belt off, and it's just the Winged Eagle on. Like really distorted and bad. But I'm surprised he's not going to bring back a belt with the American Nightmare logo, just as the front piece. It's very Jeff Hardy-esque.
Make it a spinner.
Oh, yes.
One of Cody's best friends in the world is on Desert Island Graps tonight. We're talking QT Marshall.
I thought you were going to say Pharaoh.
No, sadly not. Pharaoh's too busy to come on. But QT Marshall had a bit of time. We had a little chat about, obviously, Cody's move to WWE. We talk about that. He's very opinionated, is QT Marshall, about sort of geek culture. taking over wrestling.
Okay.
And he's got some strong words on that.
His best mate wears lots of Zelda stuff.
I know, right?
Okay.
But we'll talk all about it, and he'll pick 3 wrestling matches that he'd watch while stranded on a desert island. Desert Island Graps with QT Marshall on the podcast feed and the Patreon feed a little later today. More news throughout the day as well at cultaholic.com. Stay safe.
See you later.
Love you, bye.